Hi guys, it's Chris, back in my cider shed with yet another cider to try. No surprises, straight to it. Let's try some cider. Okay, what we got? Well, what we got today is in one of my bottles. That's the cork and crown bottle there. Because it comes out of a box, a bagging box, a little bit like one of these fellas here. Where are they? These fellas here. Can you see that? Yes, you can. There you go. It's a bit like one of those, except it's white. And what it's got written on it is Pilton cider, and in big letters the word didgeridoo. Because this, my friends, is a didgeridoo. Yes, it is. It's a blend of keeved ciders, aged keeved ciders, and I just got it delivered, and I thought I'd give it a whirl. I'm quite looking forward to it. 6%. So Martin Berkeley up in Shepton Mallet, Somerset. His orchards are actually in Pilton, which is a village neighbouring to Glastonbury. And started cider making in this French style, so keeved ciders, if you like, because his wife's French, I believe, so he just started making keeved ciders. The French style, the French method, sometimes called, which it isn't uniquely, but it's often called that. Yeah, so he makes lots of keeved ciders. Basically his Pilton, which is a Somerset keeved cider, his Tam O'Shanter, which is put in a whiskey barrel, very sensitively done, very nice indeed. I really like that stuff. And yeah, now this guy as well, amongst others. So sometimes I haven't loved everything that Martin's done, just because I think he actually does have like a different section to his range, and I think he does actually mark it as a separate section where he kind of experiments. So he like fruit and hops and do all sorts of other things to it. That sometimes I find a bit befuddling, because if I buy cider and it doesn't taste anything like cider, I can't tell if I want it. If I wanted it. Does that make any sense? Whereas this is pretty much a straight keeved cider. This sort of stuff I'm really into, I have to say. Old-fashioned. Pop. Let's pour it out and have a look at it. Well, already we can see through my slightly dirty bottle. Do a wash probably. That's quite a gorgeous colour. Very bright. Very bright. And keeving is you wouldn't say is it fine, but keeving is a fining process. You know, it takes out the proteins, they rise to the top from the chapeau brun, and you take the bright liquid out from underneath, and that's your sort of fine cider, fine of protein and yeast. That will not then keep on fermenting, or if it does, it'll keep on fermenting very little bit, if you like, and it leaves it nice and bright like this. So that is a gorgeous colour. That, I mean, beautiful, absolutely gorgeous. I mean, it's a very bright amber. It's just gone from gold to amber. It's absolutely beautiful looking thing. That absolutely beautiful. Still, there's a baggy box, not pressurised, unlike the other keeved ciders, which will be bottled and then finish fermentation in a bottle and become sparkling. This is a still version of keeved cider. It's kind of unusual, but I've had others from Martin that were still keeved and liked them very much actually. The Tam O'Shanter, in fact, had in the box, which I sold by the bottle. Okay, let's smell it. Nice, almost like a green element on the nose, like a leafiness. But then there is like hidden in there is that apple, that rich apple, kind of baked apple character you get with keeving. But above that, there's a layer of almost like a green sort of character to it. Sappiness, I want to say. So I will. Sappiness. There you go. Very delicate nose, though. Very delicate nose. Okay, let's taste it. Solid tannins, absolute solid tannins. There is some sweetness to it. I like it very much. Merest hint of acidity, just a little bit. Some minerality. I'm going to have some more. Oh. So, oh yeah, tannins are coming to the fore even more now. It is quite rich. It is sweet. But it's not a horrible, sugary, cloying sweetness that you get from industrial ciders at all. It's a natural sweetness. It makes it totally, totally different. Much less cloying, much more deliciousness. I can drink more of it. I find it really hard to drink even like a third of a bottle of like industrial stuff, just because that cloying sweetness. I just want to get the flavour out of my mouth. With this, I don't. I want to put the flavour back into my mouth repeatedly. It's a good sign. This is really good. This is really good. It reminds me of something. And I'll tell you what it reminds me of. I'm going to tell you. Go on, Chris. All right. It reminds me of Julian Templey's Somerset Cider Brandy. No, sorry, Borough Hill. It's the cider part of the operation. Borough Hill's Ice Cider. It's made at the same place as Somerset Cider Brandy, but they have a cider business and a brandy business all on the same farm, but they're kind of separate entities, if you like. So it's all the same place, all the same people. We have Borough Hill Cider and Somerset Cider Brandy. And they're different businesses, but basically it's the same business. So basically, Borough Hill's Ice Cider, which is one of the best apple things I've ever had. I've said this many times. I just want to put it in my face. It's fantastic. This feels to me like a dialed down version of that. And that's a pretty high compliment. That's a pretty high compliment. I think that is like, what, 17, 18%, something like that. This is only 6%. So actually, yeah, I feel like it's almost been dialed down, relative to the alcohol content in terms of the flavour. It's really good. It's really good. And it does feel like a very delicate version of an ice cider. It really does. Yeah, that ticks the boxes for me. It's really good. It's really good. It's aperitif-like almost. I mean, it's not as viscous as an ice cider, not as intensely sweet, as intensely acid. But it kind of does the job of that, and you can drink more of it. Nice one. Nice one, Martin. Thank you very much. Cool. All right, guys. Well, that was good, wasn't it? Yeah. Okay, so, as always, thank you for joining me in my shed. I hope you come back and join me again. But until then, cheers.